Hey guys, this video is going to be some coverage of CES 2014. I just got back from CES 2014 in Las Vegas, Nevada, just a little while ago, and I was able to get some footage of some of the different kiosks that were there, as well as some of the events that were going on while I was participating. So I'm going to go ahead and post just a couple of videos up here of CES coverage, some of the different kiosks, some of the new technology that's been announced, and some really neat things that I saw while I was there. Now this video is brought to you by mypcbackup.com. If you've never heard of it, it's a website that allows you to back up all of your files online. MyPCBackup.com is probably the most affordable online backup software that's available on the internet right now. So if you haven't ever checked it out, go ahead and check out the website. It's mypcbackup.com. All you have to do is put in your name, email address, and password, and you can create an account for free today. They also have trials available so you can try out the software. If you don't like it, you can get rid of the software. If you do like it, you can keep it, and you'll have all of your files backed up online securely. Anyway, so here's some video coverage of CES 2014. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm at CES 2014. I just stopped by the booth for Snakebyte, which is a gaming console that allows you to use an Android-based tablet to play basically Android games on there. So you can use it as a tablet, dock it in the docking station, and you can also use it on your television as well, so it outputs video and you get a controller. So I'm going to give you some footage of that. And so you can see here that there's a number of booths that are set up here at the conference center here in Las Vegas. This is CES 2014. I'm going to get you some footage of that now. All right, so we're here at the Snakebyte booth here, Snakebyte Vyper, and so we've got Nikki here who's going to talk a little bit about that. So this is basically an Android tablet that docks and converts, and you can actually play games on the screen. You've got a gaming controller as well as a remote that can be used for video. The controller can be used for games. You can see here, if you look close, that there are there are controls because it is an Android device. So you've got back, home, things like that. And you can also bring up your open applications. So Nikki's going to talk a little bit about the interface here.
All right. So the interface is built up so that you have your categories on the left-hand side and the apps in that category in the middle. So you can basically switch between different categories. Once you choose music, you'll have Pandora, Spotify. Your games, you'll have all your games in there. And you can basically just switch between whatever you want to play. Choose the game, and it will just automatically load. So you can do all your navigation with the controller. Or if you're not playing games, you're doing it more like a smart TV device, then you can use a remote, which can either be done navigated with a D-pad or just gesture control. You also have 5 different tabs. So this is the home screen where you have all the different categories and interface with the applications. But if you want to have more traditional tablet view, then you switch to the second tab, and you'll have all your apps right there. Also, all your video is automatically put in the video tab, so whatever you put into the tablet, either on the device or SD card or any external hard drive, will automatically show up here. The same thing with all your music and with all your pictures. And then just use all the shortcuts to go in and choose whatever game you're playing. So play the Riptide, run right here, and then you can just go in and play it very similar to a traditional gaming console. Because the remote has gesture commands, you can also play all your casual games like Wii-style games like Angry Birds and so on, just by using the remote in a similar way to a Wii remote, using the movement of the controller to play the games. If you want to search for any video content on YouTube or Netflix or post on social media, just flip the remote over, and on the back side you have a full keyboard, so making searches, entries, posts, or writing emails directly in your living room on the TV makes it just very easy and intuitive. The tablet is actually a very powerful tablet. It has a 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor with a separate quad-core graphics processor, enabling to play any games without any problems in performance, or stream full 1080p to your TV without it bugging up.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time, Nikki. It's definitely really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes out. So that's the Snakebyte Vyper here at CES 2014. Alright, so here at CES 2014 we got some more coverage from HCO. So if you saw CES, I think it was 2012 is when they actually came for the first time. They're a company that waterproofs electronic devices. So here we have some phones, tablets. We have, it looks like a power supply here somewhere as well. You can actually submerge your electronics underwater, and it's completely fine. Basically, it coats the inside components from the inside out, and can submerge your electronics for a pretty decent amount of time, and it still works. So pretty interesting to see here. It looks like they're trying to get it into the manufacturer level, and so it'd be interesting to see if companies like Samsung and Apple eventually will be able to integrate products like HCO and other competing companies. Okay, so here we're at the booth for Liquipel. So we just took a look at HCO, which is the competitor to Liquipel. And so here what we have is a different way about going about water-resistant or waterproofing technology. So Liquipel is basically a process of taking your electronic device and making it waterproof by putting it through a machine that actually pressurizes the device and then fills it with the patented formula that they use with Liquipel. So here they have their booth set up here. You can see some speakers that are being sort of impacted by water here. So the technology here, the difference between this and HCO is that HCO is looking to partner with manufacturers, and they're going to actually try and implement the process into existing technology, while as Liquipel is something that you can waterproof your electronics now, so you can actually send them into Liquipel, and they're able to actually receive your device and waterproof it. So it works with phones, I believe tablets, and other small electronics right now. Interesting to see what comes about from Liquipel here in 2014 and 2015. Alright, so I'm here at CES 2014. They just announced the new 2015 Mustang, which you can see right over there across the corner. So they just announced some of the new features that they're going to have on the new 2015 Mustang.
It's an icon. This is the story of the Ford Mustang. Ladies and gentlemen, making its first ever public appearance at a show, and the official car of CES, the all-new 2015 Ford Mustang.
This all-new Mustang will be available in two body styles, the freedom-loving Mustang convertible and this new take on the classic Mustang fastback. So both with a dynamic look, yet still instantly recognizable as a Mustang. So notice the long hood, short deck, sleek profile. From every angle, you'll see thoroughly modern takes on classic Mustang styling features. So a great power plant is the beating heart of every great sports.
Alright, so here we're at the Dragontrail X booth, and so if you've never heard of it, Dragontrail X is basically an alternative to Corning Gorilla Glass. Just spoke with one of the representatives here. So basically they're very similar, but Dragontrail is cheaper, and so I'm not sure exactly in terms of durability tests how it would compare to Corning Gorilla Glass, but they have implemented this on laptops, smartphones, and tablets so far. So really interesting to see what they do here. We've got a prototype device here, some sort of makeshift car. They're demonstrating how the Dragontrail X glass could be implemented into a car. And they were just talking about how they could start using this technology in basically any kind of device or machine technology that uses glass, cars, windows. So really interesting here over at CES 2014 at the Dragontrail X booth. Alright, so here we're at the Huawei booth, And so they've just announced their new phone. It's the Ascend Mate 2. This is a 4G enabled device with a 720p screen. So here we have the device. Let's take a look at some of the features here. Okay, so first going over some of the specs here. This is a 13 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel front facing camera. Again, it is a 720p screen, 6-inch device. 6.1 inch device actually. This is an IPS, I think it's an IPS display. So some of the cool new features that they have here on the Huawei devices is we have this little button that we can press here. This is a quick navigation button here. You can see that you have access to the home controls, the lock screen, back screen, things like that. So the way that you're able to access that here on the Huawei devices is you can pull down, and you can see that if you go into the settings, there's the suspend button here. You can actually enable or disable the button running on the screen, and so that allows you to access your quick controls. Alright, so another cool feature here on the Huawei Ascend is the smart home feature that they have on the Ascend Mate 2. So if you press and hold on the screen here, you can see that it comes up with some basic controls. If you click on Simple Home, it creates a simple interface that's a little bit easier for first-time users of Android or smartphone devices. And if you just swipe to the side here, you can see that they have a button that says Smart Home. So when you're ready to go back to the main interface, you can click on Standard Home here, and it takes you back to the main interface. You can see some of the specs of the device. So you can see that it's got 6.1 inch display, it's got a quad-core processor, 13 megapixel back-facing camera. This is running Android 4.3 Jelly Bean with 2 gigs of RAM, as well as 16 gigabytes of memory. So the battery is a 4050 milliamp hour battery, so that's going to last you about 2 days on battery life. So if you compare that to the Note 3, which has around, I think, a 3300, should give you some pretty decent battery life here. It does give you 1080p video recordings, so you'll be able to record in full HD. However, the screen itself is 720p. Alright, so we're at the Adonit booth here, and so we've got the Jot Touch, which is a stylus that they're releasing here at the CES 2014, and so we got someone here that's going to talk just a little bit about that. So can you show us a little bit about how that Jot Touch works here on the iPad?
Yeah, so this is a stylus meant for artists and drawing. So basically what it allows is for multiple levels of pressure sensitivity. And so what we have here is Procreate, which is an app that pairs very well with the Jot Touch itself. So it allows for more like artistry-like strokes. So you're able to get sort of a nice variable line weight and actually see what you're doing. On the back side, we have a rechargeable battery that plugs in with a USB, plugs right into your computer, and recharges. That gives you about 16 hours of battery life.
Awesome. Then tell us a little bit about, one of the buttons there on the pen allows you to actually have shortcuts on the stylus.
So with certain apps, our SDK allows for shortcuts, and so with Procreate, you're allowed to customize to different buttons. One is power, one is the shortcut. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like it works really well, and it's really accurate there on the screen as well. Okay, so we just took a look at the Jot Touch. This is the Jot Script, which is a Bluetooth-enabled stylus that they have here at the Adonit booth. And so he's going to tell you a little bit about how that works as well. This is a more accurate stylus, so it's using Bluetooth technology. Instead of the thicker lines that you might find with the Jot Touch, you're going to get smoother, thinner lines. It's going to be easier to write with.
Okay. So this is a stylus more for writers, and basically we've partnered up with Evernote and created some nice software to be compatible with the stylus itself. This features a 1.9 millimeter tip, so you're able to see what you're actually writing as opposed to a big fat crayon or a marker tip. So this is great for note takers or people in the classroom. Good and robust stylus on the go. Allows for very precise movements on the screen and quick note taking.
All right, awesome. Hey, we're at CES 2014 here, and we're taking a look at some of the new gaming machines here, gaming ultrabooks and laptops that are running Intel's newest processor, so let's take a look at that here today. Alright, I just wanted to give you a quick look here at some of the newest machines running Intel's newest processor. So this has something called Asus graphics, and they also have Asus Pro. These are all running i7 processors. If you look from the side here, you can see how thin these units are. So this is going to be the newer generation of laptop and Ultrabook technology, running high-end games and high-performance games on thinner machines. They're all very light. You can see for comparison just behind this gentleman here that they've got an Alienware laptop. That Alienware laptop is the traditional size you'd find most gaming machines. Here we've got in the middle, we've got the well-known Razer. So the Razer has been previously seen with different controls on the next to the keyboard, actually, where you can customize the controls. They've redesigned this particular unit, and they now have a traditional touchpad in the center of the device with all the keys laid out in a pretty normal fashion here. I believe this is a 15.6-inch display on this new Razer here, and the price point we're not really sure yet. We're thinking around $1,400 to $1,700, somewhere around that range. We've got this new Asus. So the Asus here, this is also an Ultrabook, also running around it's also running about a 15.6-inch display here, and you can see that it's, again, very thin, very lightweight. This is running really incredible graphics. It's running Grid here. We've got Call of Duty Ghost running on the Razer. And then if you look to the right here, we've got some other devices. We've got the Gigabyte. The company created this little box here. It's actually a machine that you can use for gaming. It's like a portable little PC. We also have a quick look over there. If you look to the right, that's the Asus Phone Tab, or Phone Pad, I believe. Also capable of some really good gaming performance here. Okay, so here we've got the Asus Duet Transformer. So this is new device from Asus that rocks an i7 processor, 1080p display. They also have a separate version that's going to have an i3 processor as well as a 720p display. So if you look in the center here, you can see that it's actually able to be detached, and so you can use it as a standalone tablet, or you can attach the keyboard and you can use it as a full Windows device. It also dual boots with Android, and with that I mean that it actually can boot into Android almost instantaneously, and you can see just like that, boots that quick into Android, and this is running 4.2.2, I believe, Android. So pretty new, and it's really, really fast. I mean, with an i7 processor, you're really going to see the performance on this unit. All right, Todd, tell us a little bit about how this device works.
So this is a Transformer Book Duet. This was just announced here at the show. It's going to go on sale in the U.S. according to Asus about midway in the year, into the second quarter of this year. And this is allowing you to run both Android and a full version of Windows 8.1 on the same machine at the same time without having to cold boot it each time. And so what happens here, as you can see, you've got the Windows desktop. If you need to go over to Android and do something, you just hit the button, and it takes you right over. It's about a 4-second or less switch. And there's Intel technology inside here that is allowing this to happen. So we're supporting it. And the OS is operating natively on the processor. This is an i7. You're seeing Android run natively on a Core i7 processor. So lots of power and lots of functionality for the person who needs to, say, use Office for their work environment, Microsoft Office, but wants to use Android for some other things at home. It allows you to do both of those.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be really interested to see how this fares out. And like I was saying before, it'll be really interesting to see as more of these devices come out, more of the devices running dual boot with Android. Now, there are some devices that are going to have Android as an option. You can boot to it, but of course, you're not going to see it boot as quickly as this device does. It's really specific to this device right now. So really impressive speeds here, and we'll be really interested to see what we have to come in the future.